Hello and welcome to this wonderful place that we call Grazing Rails. Today's story.
Odds Journey, Chapter 1, The Datum Forest. It is getting dark, Maud said. Should we start looking for a good camping ground for tonight? I think we have at least 2 more hours of light. We can still cover more ground today, answered Pod. Not if these clouds bring heavy rain with them, was the reply of Todd. The winds change all the time in this valley. I think we should risk it, Todd said, eager to leave the valley behind. The last time we risked it, we couldn't find flat ground to place our sleeping rolls. I do not want to wake up with you guys over me again, complained Maud. He is right, Paul. It is better to rest as much as we can tonight. We will arrive in Eldom tomorrow and need to find an affordable inn and work. We can start early and refresh ourselves before looking for a job. Nobody will like to stop and listen to a dirty and smelly fiddler. Plus, we can buy fresh bread and cheese if we arrive early enough. I'm tired of this hard bread and chewy and tasteless dry meat. An early start sounded good, and the prospect of freshly baked bread made their mind. They found a small creek with fresh and clear water. The creek was coming to the surface in different places and disappearing inside the rock after a few meters. It looked like flowing southeast, but with the hidden creeks, you never know. They found a place for the evening. The water was wide enough to swim if they wanted and 10 meters long. The terrain in this place of the valley was rocky and occasionally covered by a thin layer of grass. The Datum Forest was close, less than 20 meters from the other shore of the creek. The abrupt transition between the vast and empty field and the forest looked gloomy. Dark green moss covered the ground, preceding the trees and their trunks. The forest was shadowy, almost black. The giant trees were heavy with leaves, topping the light for everything that was growing near the ground. I don't like this place even a bit. Looking at the forest gives me a dreadful sensation. My guts are telling me to run and not to stop until I cannot see or smell the forest anymore, Maud whispered. It is the Datum Forest, warning you not to go inside. We will be fine if you do not put a foot there, calmly replied Todd. Getting on his feet, Pod said, It is creepy, all right, but I have been in worse places. I'm going to look for some dry wood for the campfire tonight. I prefer not to burn the dried manures we found on the other day. When Pod and Todd were alone, Pod asked, Do you really think that the forest is cursed and the stories are true? Even in the bizarre and exaggerated stories, there is something true. Are there ants as big as an adult's arm that can devour a human being in minutes? I do not think so. But I'm sure dangerous things are hidden deep in the forest, waiting for some brave soul to enter, replied Todd. I don't like the darkness coming from the forest. I feel like it's coming for my soul. It is just the type of trees that make the forest look so dark and gloomy. The evergreen trees are mixed with the seasonal ones, and that makes the forest humid all year long. Do you see the tallest evergreen in front of us? Yes, the one with pointed triangular crown? Yes, this is a spruce. Cannot be. They grow up to 20 men's height, and this one is at least triple that. And look, this one's trunk is thick as 4 of me stacked one upon the other, and I'm the tallest in the group. Why so different from the one near our village? You're right. If you look closely, you will notice that the bark is pink in color and not the reddish-brown color of the spruce tree we are used to. In the books, it is written that the forest hasn't changed at all in the past 10,000 years. No other spruce tree outside this forest lives more than 1,000 years. The third tree further on the left is a common beech tree. The difference between this one and the normal beech is the height and the bark. Normally, the common beech is taller than the spruce, and here they have the same height. The bark of the normal common beech is smooth, gray and thin, while in this forest it is dark gray, almost black, has red vertical mark, and it's really thick. Look at these red spheres. They must be bigger than your head, Todd. I bet you a pint of supreme cider that Maud will want to get some piece of them. Imagine what he can draw with that vibrant red color. Only a fool man will go near the forest, and he is not a bird brain, laughed Todd, brushing away Pot's offer. How long must a tree live to create them? If I'm not mistaken, those are resin pockets, and the tree that created them is a silver fir. That one is ancient. Look at the cracks on the bark. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Or is something moving inside the cracks? Asked Pot, getting on its feet and slowly walking towards the forest. Oh, I bet the cracks are big enough to host a snake, but we are too far away, and the forest is too dark to be able to. His last words died as he started looking at the closest silver fir bark. The two friends were half across the space between their camp and the river when Maud called across the camp, "Can you fill my water flask too?" The sudden sound of Maud's voice awakened Pot and Todd from their dreamy state. "Yep, water. We need water for the tea." "Yep," awkwardly said Pot to no one in particular. The two friends shook off the numb sensation that had taken their bodies and started preparing the camp for the night. The rest of the night went by without any significant accidents. Maud collected some dry moss and leaves blown by the wind from the forest. He managed to collect a sack full of different kinds of leaves. The dried ash and maple tree leaves will help to start the fire, and the mixture of the dried and semi-dried moss will help to keep the fire up for long. "I even found some walnut tree leaves," said Maud, layering the moss and leaves over the improvised fire pit. "We can make tea from them. I'm tired of drinking red clover tea over and over again. It has been, what, at least 2 weeks since we finished the lemongrass? I'm not sure if we should drink or eat anything made with ingredients from the Datum Forest," advised Pot. "Something is perturbing about it. In this case, we should not burn the leaves or even the moss due to the closeness to the forest. You are too cautious most of the time. Todd, You decide whether we should use the leaves for tea. You both have a point, and we all know that some enchanted leaves can hinder a person, or even worse, kill. But in those cases, a Teldom was involved and created a spell. The leaves were just the vehicle. You do not think there is such evil creature around here, do you? Oh, great. Only this is missing on our plate right now. Teldom's going after us. I do not think so. We are not far from the Eldom's realm. Elves would not allow the Dark Ones in their territory. In any case, we are not appealing prey for them. None of us is from a pure-blooded family, and we do not have much money. Do you think anyone, human or not, will care about us? We are too much work for almost no return. Yes, that is right. What they will get? The pot's smelly shirts? Those by themselves can kill a person, jokingly said Maud. If you continue talking, we will never finish the fire pit. I'm getting hungry and cold. Oh, the young these days are so impatient. All right, the tea will be ready soon. The sun slowly descended to the east behind the forest, creating a beautiful, colorful spectacle. The orange colors started to pierce the blue sky, contrasting with the white clouds, giving the impression that the sun rays were avoiding touching the clouds. The clouds embraced the sun, trying to squeeze its last warmth. Gradually, the color changed from bright orange to vibrant red. Darkness and coldness spread over the meadow as the last flickers of sunlight were chased by the night. When the golden light disappeared over the Datum Forest, the asleep and gloomy place became alive at once. A plethora of sounds exploded from it, leaving lots to the imagination of the three humans of what can be hidden inside. Finally, the red colors were upon the forest, creating the illusion that it was burning. For a few seconds, the friends stayed in silence, trying to figure out if it was just a mirage or if the forest was in flames. A thick mist came from south, spreading through the trees and the burning forest, extinguishing the fire together with the sounds and any reminder of life in it. By the time the sun was gone and the sky's only colors were the clouds, purple and blue, a deadly silence spread upon the forest. The meadow also started to transform with the dying sun. First came the insects. Just before sundown, the mosquitoes spread fast. The humid environment allowed a swarm of mosquitoes to conquer the sky. The low-pitched sound of those hungry insects was everywhere. Even the smoke from the fire was not enough to chase them away. But their victory was short. Soon after them, the damselflies were airborne. The mosquitoes were so tiny, almost invisible, and the only way to know they were around was when they buzzed near the three friends' ears or viciously biting them. In comparison, the damselflies were enormous, with a body 20 centimeters long and wings 1/3 of it. They looked slow and stiff at first glance. Their bodies metallic light blue color with the red-orange wings and round black eyes made them look atrocious. When they were in the air, they had only one mission: to feed. Soon the air was a battlefield. the mosquitoes entered a chaotic flight mode so that they could escape the massive damselflies' mandibles. Some of them are so desperate that they started flying against the smoke towards the fire's flame. In those cases, both insects perish in the flames. Surprisingly, the predators were agile and fast and did not have problems getting their dinner. But with the darkening sky, 2 new players entered the battlefield. The bats attacked from the sky and the toads from the ground. The bats were enormous, almost a 4-arm length from head to tail. Their body was hairy and the fur had a dirty orange color, contrasting with the hairless black wings. The wings were at least man's arm length and had a finger-long claws on the top middle part. Their heads were palm-thick and had a black-nosed leaf shape like a hook. 2/3 of the bat had deep red fur on their heads, and the rest had pale grey fur. The bats were skilled hunters. When they were close enough to their prey, a mosquito or damselfly, it did not matter. They used their claws to catch the insect and wrap their mighty wings around it. The red-headed bats preferred to go after mosquitoes. Less than a second later, the insects were swallowed and they were on the way to get a new one. The grey-headed bats were going after the damselflies. After they wrapped their wings around the insect, they just beat the head, littering the ground with their bodies. The toads came from the ground. They started emerging from the small cavities of the river course. The toads were tiny and could fit in a human's hand, with short, chubby legs and big, bulgy eyes. They stayed away from the humans and the fire, but close enough for the flames to reflect on their dark brown skin and yellow warts. The battle continued until the last sun rays died over the forest. The mosquitoes were trying to feed on humans while trying to avoid the damselflies and bats. The damselflies were also trying to feed as much as possible and avoid death in the jaws of bats. The toads were just enjoying the leftovers of the bats. The silence over the meadow was restored when the sky turned pitch black and the stars flickered high above. The mosquitoes flew away, taking the bats' annoying high-pitched screams and the toads' deep croaks. It was a cold night before the mist. The dampness changed to chilly and wet evening. The moss and leaves that both found were enough to heat the water for the tea that night. With hot liquid in their hands, the overall mood of the 3 friends started to improve, as well as their chattiness. If we start our journey before sunrise tomorrow, we should be able to cross the West Bridge just after the mid-morning supper. If we are lucky, we can get the performance permission after lunch. By the end of the day, we should have made enough money to pay for our meals, thoughtfully said Todd. By this time tomorrow, we will be enjoying a pint of ale and a warm bath, cheerfully replied Maud. Oh, hopefully, by this time tomorrow, we will already have the pleasure of seeing elves. My uncle's friend said that he saw an elf once in Heatham. Yes, that is right. Heatham is one of the few cities where elves mix with mortals. The books say that the friendship between the elves and the city's royal has gone since the Magic War. Back then, the city chose the elven side and fought with them to protect their forest. This is one of the reasons why the city has not been conquered since then. One of the reasons? Inquired Maud. The city has a really advantageous location. Mountains protect the north side. It takes 2 months to cross them on foot, and most of the way is covered by snow. It is so cold that you can fall asleep and never wake up again. Also, a huge ice lake with the beautiful blue colors is in the middle. It takes 2 days to cross it, but no path is 100% safe. Once, a rich merchant was swallowed together with 4 mules and 2 carriages with silk. People believe that the silk was so good that the gods under the frozen lake just wanted it for themselves. No army will even think of trying to cross the mountains, and even if they do, and if the cold does not kill them, hunger and exhaustion will do it. Besides that, the city was built on a neck of land surrounded by a deep river. In the narrowing parts of the river, the current is so strong that it is almost impossible to swim across it. Guards towers are placed every 100 meters on those parts to monitor the waters. The Elven forest is on the east of Eldom, and elves do not let anyone pass through it. No human have been inside their forest for millennium. Finally, on the west is the Datum Forest, and only fools will try to enter it. What your books say about the elves, Todd? Are they as beautiful as everyone says? Asked Pod, overlooking the entire conversation about the citadel. There is not much information about their physical appearance in the books. Most are about their fighting skills, artwork, poetry, and music. The Book of the Races describes them as tall and athletic, with dark brown skin, bright blue eyes, and dark green hair. The dark skin and green hair enable them to merge with the trees, making them the best hunters in the main wood. For human eyes, they are the epiphany of perfection, with perfect features and melodic voice. The bright color of their eyes help them see in the dark. All the elven children are taught the art of fighting, hunting, dancing, painting, and music since birth. This is why all of them can sing and dance. The most interesting thing about them, in my opinion, is that their language uses forest and animal sounds. The way they speak and produce sounds is completely different from ours. This is why only a handful of humans ever learn how to speak and read in Elvish, managed to answer Todd before Pod interrupted him. Oh, I would give everything that I own for 1 hour in the presence of an elf. Imagine the painting that I can create. People will pay to glance at it, dreamfully muttered Pod. Do you know any melody or poetry written by them? I agree with Pod. I would give anything to be able to hear them play or learn some of their music. Let me see. There is a poem that was given by the royal elves to the Darwen, the chief librarian, during Com's reign. It goes like this. Come, come, come to the river, where the air is fresh and life is jolly. Come, come, come to the river, where the fish is big and dragons fly. Come, come, come to the river, where you will feel light and gaily. Come, come, come to the river, where the monsters vanish and seraphs stay. Come, come, come to the river, come to see the light in you.
This is the end of today's story. I hope that the past minutes helped you relax and ease you into falling asleep. If you are not 100% there yet, let us just do a breathing exercise. Count mentally with me your breath intakes and exhales. Concentrate on the counting, nothing more. Intake for 1, 2, 3, 4, and release for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.